If you want to, you can drop it from side to side. Just feel and be aware of your neck. And now take your attention into your shoulders. You can shrug them up tight and just release them. Feel your attention really focus on your arms. Go all the way down to the tips of your fingers. If you're really concentrating on the tips of your fingers, you're going to feel that tingle, a little pulse, a little heartbeat in the tips of your fingers. Feel that. Come back up through your arms, into your shoulders, into your neck, and feel your head. All your stuff sits in there. Don't let the thoughts overtake you, let them go. Just be aware of your head and your breathing. Now I want you to become aware of all the sounds you hear. The sound of my voice, the sound of the talking in the room next door, the sound of the cars as they go by. Just be aware of you, special, unique you, right now, right here. Feel the temperature of the room on your skin. Just relax. All you need to do right now is focus on your body. And then I'm going to ask you on your own to take another 3 deep breaths in and out. You can start to feel yourself back in the room. When you open your eyes, you will be fresh, invigorated, clear-minded, and ready to take it all on. How is that? Is it easy? Can you just do it easily in a little group? Can you try to do that every day? It'll just stop you from being overwhelmed, all the stuff going on, and help you to refocus. It really is. I wouldn't teach this to you if I didn't have lots and lots of information on how brilliant this is for your brain and your body and your thinking. Okay, are we going to pay it forward? Are you going to help other youth in the community to understand? Are you going to let us know what we need to do better? What courses we must hold, what expansions we need? Okay, tell us what we need to do better. Pay it forward. The soft skills, guys. Every day learn how to get better at the soft skills. Arrive on time. Be courteous. Be kind to your fellow colleagues. Work as a team. Dress nicely. Groom yourself. Show up as your highest self. What is my highest self? Show up as that. You know you've got access here at the hub. Hopefully all the Wi-Fi is going to be working soon. We'll start sharing the work readiness modules. I think everybody here must get access to it.
We can organize a copy.
Can we do that? Okay. We've got a soft skills program. It's stories of young people like you going to the workplace, how they struggle with things like how do I talk to my boss? How do I show up to work? Okay? There's some days where I really don't feel like brushing my hair and brushing my teeth and getting out of bed. But if I have to go to work and I smell or I look unkempt and I haven't brushed my teeth, who is going to take me seriously? No one. All of these little things matter. All of it matters. Be great. We want you all to be great. We want you to fly. If you need us to do things that are going to help you on that journey, let us know. Don't ask me for money. But everything else we will try to do. And money will come. We can show people what you are doing, we can attract more money here for more youth in the community. Because I hear exactly what you say. And Marie-Francois had a point. We've got to create spaces for youth to come, and if you are already on a pathway, you can also give them a little bit of advice on how you find yourself and get them to play now. Okay. Thank you guys for giving me your time. I know you're all busy entrepreneurs. So thank you. But we're gonna create a suggestion box so that they can tell us and give us ideas on things we must do better. Okay. But we do need a lot more youth engagement from the community. A lot more outreach. We need to get cleverer at it. Ask the entrepreneur fast if they can help you figure out ways to spread messages on courses and things. Because we're going to start many more Microsoft Office courses, etc. now. Okay, guys? Cool. You especially, because you're already doing that. You can really talk to us about what we do. Will you give Rory your number or top of your number and I'll give you a call? What was your name again? Winnie. So if anybody else has ideas, will you get in touch? Tabo has my number. Okay. Okay, guys. Say yes! Yes! Cheers.
And innocent, that's how you get opportunities. That's how you get opportunities. When someone comes to the interview, right, and then you start exchanging conversation, you know which way someone and the next thing, all I know is I interacted with someone, whatever I'm saying, understand? The next thing more contact. You see, the lady now, she's getting attention because she's old.
Where's all the entrepreneurs?
I think you guys just entrepreneurs.
How do we deal
You guys can sit here. I'll come to the
I
front.
couldn't separate you because I didn't have what I had. No, when you're saying people will get a target of position, does it make sense? No, but I don't know.
In your business.
So I actually expect to raise for this type of position. Okay.
Please don't
See here.
Well, we don't be the reason when
Have you started yet?
Yeah, it's streaming already.
Okay.
But, we told them 20 past 11 because of the program that's happening. So I'm just gonna give 1 more minute for others to join in, and then we'll get started. A lot of them see it live, and a lot of them see it after we upload it.
No, normally it's a streaming type of thing.
Yeah.
Tends to be slower, so Me, I usually prefer sending a question then record.
Yeah, you're the one
Because-
sending all the questions.
Yeah.
Well, now you can ask your questions live. Okay, let's see what Talha says, whether I should start or not.
Maybe the question that I can put before I step in.
Yeah.
If somebody has started, like I started last month, is my duration, are you putting me under that group that started in June or July?
Right now, we haven't put you into a separate group. You're part of this group.
Oh.
Yeah. So they
So
need to
by
make
default,
sure.
I'm not there. I'm still behind.
No, but the way you're moving fast.
Yeah. Okay, let's get started. First, I'll talk to the online people, and then I'll turn my camera so they can see you, and then we'll get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Webinar Wednesday. If you're having any issues, if you can't hear me or see me properly, just put it on the chat. And if you got any questions, also put it on the chat. Today, I'm excited. Today's webinar is different because we're not doing it from our head office. We're doing it from Tembisa, and we've got the Tembisa gang here. We can have a look at them here. Awesome. We had quite an interesting program this morning. We had a visit from the World Bank, the president of the Southern African region of World Bank, and she was quite impressed. I think she was very impressed with entrepreneur students and what you guys are achieving. So well done, guys. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. Okay, so today's topic, guys, is learning to code versus learning to be a developer. Now, there's a very big difference. And what frustrates me is in the industry, in newspapers, in online news articles, you hear that a certain group of people somewhere are learning to code. People in Durban learning to code, people in Cape Town learning to code. But what they don't realize, and they are learning to code. There's nothing wrong with learning to code. I've been coding since I was 10 years old. It's fantastic. But what they don't realize, what most of the institutes don't realize and they don't understand, is that coding is not enough. It's only one small part of a bigger ecosystem. So learning to code is like, say, for example, learning to peel potatoes. That doesn't make you a chef. You just know how to peel potatoes. It's only one part of being a chef. Now, learning to code is a tiny part of being a developer. Hence, what our institutes need to focus on is, instead of teaching people to code, to do what you guys are doing. Learning to develop. You're learning to become developers. So what are you doing from project one? Just the name tells you something. You're building projects. You see, so that's how we structure this curriculum. Through the whole course, all you're doing is building projects. And in the context of that, you're learning how to code. You see, it's not the other way around. Now, how we were taught at school, at university back in the days is we learned to code, but we never learned projects. So yes, I was a master at coding. First, it was BASIC, to the language called BASIC. And then I went to a language called Pascal, and then another language called Java. And I was really good. I was getting like almost 100%, 98, 99, 100%. But I never learned to develop at university. That is a different thing. Development means that you're putting together an entire project that you are able to deploy to your cell phone, or you are able to sell on the App Store. That is what creates employability. Because if you just learn to code alone, you're not employable. You just got one small skill. But when you become a developer, then you are employable. And you're not just employable, but you're also far ahead of students coming out from universities, because all they have is coding skills. So we need to be wary of this. We need to be wary. And when you're talking to your friends about it, about what you do, you're not learning to code. You are becoming app developers. You are developing apps. You're learning by developing. And it's going to accelerate You know, when I told you Tabo, who did I speak to? I spoke to you earlier on about the recipe book app. Now, the recipe book app, for example, there's a lot of coding that went into it, right? And you've built a beautiful app, but that app right now, it's just a pretty face. What about everything that goes on behind the scenes? If somebody wanted to share a recipe onto that app, how would they do it? Like, say, for example, your friend in Cape Town wanted to put a recipe on that app. They can't do it right now because it's just a pretty face. But as you get more advanced, now you'll add a database into that app where somebody from Cape Town will be able to log in to that database, put a recipe, and the moment they put that recipe, it appears for everyone else. You understand? Just like Facebook, like putting up a Facebook or Instagram post. That, guys, is development. You're getting it. So this is one of my own frustrations when people say these guys are learning to code. Yes, you are learning to code, but we need to focus more on learning to develop, on teaching people to develop fully fledged applications like you are doing. Then we can see that people are going to go and be employable. And for me, it's very personal because, like I said, and I keep talking about this story, it's because I had the same experience. When I was your age, I had the same experience. Coding master, but no development skills. And then I go and the company has to spend one whole year teaching me development skills, the skills that you are getting now. You're getting it. Okay, so we're going to move on to something else because it wasn't covered previously. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I think you brought it to my attention about the full stack development, right? So 2 weeks ago, we were supposed to have a discussion around full stack development. What exactly is full stack development? I mean, if you go to websites like Career Junction, they say Standard Bank is looking for a full stack developer and they're paying so much. So what is full stack? Now, full stack development means where you are able to develop an app end to end. Now remember, you must understand something, right? The apps that we use, like WhatsApp and Instagram, what's on your phone is only one part of the app. It's only the face. Behind the scenes on the server, there's another part of the app. Not on your phone, on Instagram server. And then related to that, linked to that, is a database. Now how it works is this. You pick up your phone, let's take WhatsApp as an example. You open the app, you type in a message, and you hit send. The job of your phone is over. Now the server takes over. That message is sent to WhatsApp server that's living on the internet somewhere. When it reaches the server has a special application. They call it the back-end application. That application looks at the message. What is the message? Who should it be sent to? So if I'm sending a message to Tabo, hi Tabo, how are you? Send it to. How does the app know that message must go to Tabo and it mustn't go to, say, Asanda? Because it's all there. So the server is clever. It's intelligent. It's been coded that way. It's been programmed that way to take that message and to send it to who I want it to be sent. Then it says, okay, this message must go to Asanda, but where is Asanda? And who is Asanda? So then it goes into the database and it looks for Asanda. Okay, there's he. He's in Tembisa, his phone number is 061, whatever. Right, it fetches him and it sends that message to that number. So the front end, the back end, and the database all work together. You following?
Yes.
Now this is the full stack. The front end, the back end, and the database. Now, my vision is for every one of you to become a full stack developer. When you're a full stack developer, that means you got knowledge that encompasses all the steps. Let me give you another example, right? You were building the online store, right? The shoe store app. When you open up any shop app, let's say Amazon, for example, what you're looking at is the Amazon homepage when you land there. Where does that information come from? That information comes from the database. All that content is stored in Amazon's database. Amazon's database pushes that information to the server, and the server pushes it to your website, to your screen. So when you go and click on something and you hit buy, then you're hitting the server again. That message is sent to the server. The server says, this person wants to buy what he wants to buy, that item in the database. And then the process goes back and forth. Front end, server, database. Front end, back end. The back end is made of the server and the database, your application and the database. So that is your full stack. That is your stack that you're developing. Now, the thing is that a lot of people, when you're learning to code, you're only learning one small part of that whole giant process. But now you're going to be full stack developers. So Apptrepreneur is actually a full stack application course, and you guys are going to get into that. But the first 6 months, we're going to focus you on HTML, CSS, WordPress, WooCommerce. WooCommerce is an application that allows you to create e-commerce stores, online shops, and obviously your graphic design. In the second 6 months, you're going to focus on the full stack. And we're going to introduce you to a language called JavaScript, and another language called PHP, and a third language called MySQL or MySQL. MySQL is a language of databases. Now, if you don't understand most of these terms, don't stress it. You're going to be masters at this. I mean, you didn't know HTML and CSS before this 3 months ago. Now you do, right? You can look at that code and you can show somebody your code. Other people will look at it and say, wow, what is this? But you understand that language. So in the next few months, you're going to see your learning is going to be accelerated. Awesome stuff, guys. So remember, you are learning to code within the context of creating these applications. And if things are tough, it's like Dr. Tash mentioned earlier on, if things are tough, and things are going to get tough, this is still baby steps, guys. You're still in grade 1. But I chose you from the whole NAC group because I know these are the ones that are going to make it. And you are going to make it. It's going to get tough, but that's what we are here for. If you're struggling with something, talk to us. Take a picture of the screen, send it to Masi, or send it to me. I'm struggling with this. Put it on the WhatsApp group. Send it to us. I'm struggling with this. Please help. Because that's our responsibility. And that's how we want to be different to every other institute. You go to a university, you go to WITS, for example, you sit in a class, who cares whether you're there or not? No one cares. Who cares whether you pass or not? But for me, it's very personal. I want to see every one of you succeed. So the slightest difficulty, talk about it. Don't be afraid to ask your friends also. Help each other. Your knowledge grows by you asking and helping. Somebody asks you for help, don't turn them away. Help them. And then you'll grow together, because tomorrow when you need some help, then she'll be there or he'll be there to help you out. Awesome, guys. I think we'll wrap up today's webinar. We'll keep it a little shorter than normal. We've gone on, we started about 20 past, so about 15 minutes, which is awesome. Okay, questions. You had a question earlier on. Can you ask it again, just for the benefit of these ones? You forgot?
Yeah. No, I did ask you.
Did I give you an answer?
Yeah, it's part of why you also covered the full stack.
Okay, now I'm getting old. I forgot. Okay, questions?
So usually when I do job searching, so they usually say we want you query, we want SQL, we want you to be efficient in this. But they also list like this type. They will say we want you to be proficient in using this type of technology.
Yeah.
And the majority of the time, some of those technologies, I'm not quite sure if I've been exposed to it, but because now it's been called by another name, it's confusing.
Yeah. Okay. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Don't worry too much about what's there. Let me tell you something. the people that are putting out these adverts on job sites, the approach they use is they put everything that they can think of. They say you must be proficient in A to Z. Meantime, they only need you for ABC, right? So they have a habit of doing that. The HR guys. The thing is, that's the one thing that you need to be wary of. The second thing you need to be wary of, guys, is this: that no one. I've been a software engineer for what 25 years now. No one understands all those skills. No one. They're taking a chance. All they want is to see that you have the abilities to work on a full stack application. So yes, they're putting this technology, Spring, jQuery, jQuery mobile, Ruby on Rails, .NET. They'll throw everything at you. Don't stress that too much. It's not something, you know what will happen if you worry about all that? You'll find you take 3 steps and you change in direction, and then another 3 steps and you change in direction, right? The direction that you are on right now, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, is something that's coming with my 25 years of experience. If you understand this, right, then you'll understand full stack development in any environment. You follow what I'm saying? No matter what the environment, you will understand it. So focus on this, but keep an eye on what's going there. Then there's also this other topic that you'll find where people are debating about languages. Which language is the best? That is bullshit talk. Serious, those are idiot people that are talking, they're fighting with each other online. No, Java is the best. Okay, cool, thanks. Can I take one more? Somebody will say Java is the best. Somebody will say Ruby is the best. But that's not the point. The point is, what are you capable of doing? Are you capable of creating a full stack application? Right? So let me give you some examples. If you want to create an app for iOS, native iOS, you can't use Java. You have to use Swift or HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to create for Android, then you'll use Java. If you want to create an app for a company, for WordPress, for example, you need PHP. So it's not about which is the best language, it's about which is the best language for you and the type of work you're doing. Yeah.
So in creating my portfolio, can I use some of the stuff that we're doing in the course? So for instance, when for web development, your tables, putting in the chart, can I use that as my portfolio to show a potential employer that I can actually develop a full website?
By all means, it's yours. It belongs to you. Once you develop that project, do whatever you want with it. It's yours. Good question. We'll wrap up now, guys. Cool. If you got any questions?
We never touched any, in terms of this space of IT. The assembly, it's the assembly type of language. It's not touched now.
Good question. I learned assembler in university, and it's very fun to work with. But the trouble is, you will almost never use assembler anywhere in the world today. Ever. Maybe for your own academic knowledge, to understand how processes in a computer on a very low level actually works, it's nice. Assembler, don't waste your time. Then some people say learn C, C++. Yes, I say learn it. After you get a job as a top-notch developer, you got some time, learn C++. It's a beautiful language, but not for getting a job, because you're not going to find a C++ job anywhere. See what I mean?
Because I know guys who studied with IT systems, but majority of the work that they do in the market, they work as technicians. They basically taking out cables from the server. They don't actually do any code.
Yeah.
That is related to this.
Exactly. Embedded systems, and very low level hardware. If you're getting into robotics, maybe, yeah, learn C++, learn Ruby. Those are excellent languages for robotics. But see, the other thing about Appsopreneur is designed in such a way that even though you're learning this series of languages, you're also going to get very solid foundations in the concepts of programming. So if you have to switch from PHP to C# or from PHP to Java, it won't be hard for you. You understand the core of the process. I got a question from Christopher. How do we incorporate visual and audio into HTML? Do we need to use JavaScript? Good question. How do we incorporate audio and video into HTML? The answer, Christopher and everyone else, is you don't need JavaScript. With HTML5, you can incorporate videos. Who's done the solar system app here? You haven't come to that one yet. I think that's project 8 or 9. Christopher, when you come to project 9, solar system, you'll see we actually embed videos into your apps, and you don't need anything special there. You're using just ordinary plain old HTML to do that. In the old days, you needed JavaScript, but now you can use HTML. Awesome. I'm going to end the stream now, but we can carry on. Cool, guys. Those that joined us remotely, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this session. As I said, this one is from Tembisa. I'm so happy to be with our students here in Tembisa. If you got any more questions going forward, don't hesitate. Ask it via email or ask it on the LMS or on the forums. Cool.
Why?
Yeah.